So I met this guy named Caden on Tinder. We hit it off immediately, and after chatting for a while, we decided to meet up for a casual Netflix and chill date at my place. Now I have to admit, I was a bit nervous. It was my first time ever doing something like this, and I wanted to be cautious. But Caden seemed like a genuine guy, and we had a good connection online. So I decided to give it a chance. On the day of our date, I prepared my home, making sure everything was clean and cozy. I was excited, yet a little hesitant. I reminded myself that it was just a Netflix and chill night, nothing more. I convinced myself that there was nothing to worry about. As the evening approached, Caden arrived at my doorstep. He seemed friendly and charming, putting me at ease. We settled on the couch, ready to enjoy a movie together. Little did I know that this seemingly innocent evening would turn into a nightmare. About an hour into the movie, there was a sudden loud knock on the door. It startled both of us, causing our hearts to race. I looked at Caden, and we exchanged puzzled glances. I had no idea who could be knocking at this late hour. Reluctantly, I got up to answer the door, a sense of unease washing over me. But as soon as I opened the door, I was met with a terrifying sight. A masked man burst into my home, wielding a weapon and demanding money and valuables. Fear paralyzed me as I realized we were being robbed. The intruder wasted no time. He ransacked my home, taking whatever he could find. I watched in horror as he snatched my car keys and phone, leaving me feeling vulnerable and powerless. It was a violation of my space and my sense of security. Once the intruder had fled, I immediately wanted to call the police. I needed help and justice. But Caden, to my surprise, insisted that we shouldn't involve the authorities. He became adamant, almost forceful, in his persuasion. He claimed that going to the police would only complicate matters, and he wanted to protect me. Confused and afraid, I struggled with my decision. Deep down, I knew I should contact the police, but Caden's persistence made me question everything. In the end, I compromised. I agreed to call the police, but Caden made me promise to say that I was at another person's house during the robbery, not his, as he was on probation and feared the consequences. Days passed, and the incident still haunted me. Something didn't feel right. The more I thought about it, the more doubts arose. I couldn't shake the feeling that Caden knew more than he let on. There were inconsistencies in his behavior and his insistence on keeping things quiet. Then one day the police contacted me. They had made a breakthrough in the case and wanted to show me a lineup of suspects. As I looked at the photos, my heart sank. Among the faces, I recognized one of the men from the Tinder pictures with Caden. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Caden had been involved in the setup all along. He had orchestrated the whole robbery, using our date as a cover. The betrayal and realization were gut-wrenching. I felt violated, not only by the intruder but by someone I had trusted. The police assured me that justice would be served, and I cooperated fully in their investigation. It was a long and difficult process, but in the end, they apprehended the culprits, including Caden. The abandoned car with bullet holes, my phone, and keys were found, providing evidence against them. This terrifying experience taught me a valuable lesson about trust and the importance of listening to my instincts. I will never forget the feeling of vulnerability and betrayal that night. It serves as a constant reminder to be cautious and vigilant. So there I was at a bar just minding my own business when I met this guy. Let's call him Mike. We hit it off right away, and before I knew it, we were exchanging numbers and making plans to hang out. A few days later, Mike and I decided to have a chill evening at my place. We ordered some takeout and settled in for a cozy night of Netflix and chilling. Everything seemed fine, and I was enjoying his company. But as we were watching the movie, we started hearing strange noises coming from behind the couch. It was like a soft shuffling sound, almost as if someone or something was moving around. At first, we dismissed it as some random house noises, but the sounds grew louder and more distinct. Feeling a bit uneasy, I mustered up the courage to investigate. I slowly approached the couch, trying to pinpoint the source of the noise, and that's when I made a shocking discovery. Behind the couch, hidden from view, was a small makeshift living area. There was a stove, a kitchen, and various personal belongings scattered around. It became clear to me that someone had been squatting in my home without my knowledge. Fear gripped me as I realized the intruder had been living right under my nose. I couldn't fathom how long this person had been there, watching us, listening to our conversations. It sent chills down my spine. I quickly turned to Mike, my heart pounding, and he looked just as startled as I was. We knew we had to act fast. We decided to leave the house immediately and call the police. Outside, as we waited for the authorities to arrive, a million thoughts raced through my mind. Who was this person? How did they manage to enter and hide in my home undetected? It was a horrifying realization that my privacy had been invaded in such a profound way. When the police finally arrived, they thoroughly searched the premises. They discovered that the intruder had managed to access my home through a hidden entry point, unbeknownst to me. The person responsible for this invasion of my privacy was nowhere to be found. Days later, the police contacted me with an update. They had apprehended the culprit, and it turned out to be someone I had encountered before. It was a person from my neighborhood, someone I had seen around but never suspected of such actions. As the pieces of the puzzle came together, I learned that this individual had been living a transient lifestyle, hopping from one place to another. My home had become their temporary shelter, a place to hide and observe without anyone suspecting a thing. The incident left me feeling violated and uneasy. I couldn't help but wonder how many other unsuspecting people had fallen victim to this person's intrusion. It was a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places, even within the comfort of our own homes. From that day forward, I became more vigilant about my surroundings. I took extra precautions to ensure my safety and security, installing better locks and staying alert to any signs of unusual activity. Alright, here's the story I have in mind. So, there's this guy, let's call him Dave, and he's been friends with this girl Sarah for like forever. I mean, we're talking longtime friends here. But here's the thing. Dave has had a crush on Sarah for as long as he can remember. Seriously, it's been years. Now Sarah, she's a cool girl, you know? She's smart, funny, and easy to hang out with. But she never really saw Dave in that way. To her, he was just a good friend, someone she could always count on. She had no idea about Dave's secret crush on her. So one night, they decided to have a chill evening at Sarah's place. They planned to just kick back, watch some Netflix, and have a good time. It seemed like a harmless idea, a chance to relax and enjoy each other's company. But little did they know, something was about to happen that would shake them to their core. As they settled in on the couch, engrossed in the movie playing on the screen, they suddenly heard a loud crash. It sounded like a window shattering. Their hearts skipped a beat, and they exchanged startled glances. In that moment, fear gripped them both. They knew something wasn't right. They quickly turned off the TV and listened intently. Footsteps echoed through the house, growing closer with each passing second. Panic set in, and they knew they had to hide. Without wasting another moment, they dashed towards the nearest closet. They squeezed inside, their hearts pounding in their chests. It felt like an eternity as they crouched there, trying to control their breathing, praying that the intruder wouldn't find them. They heard the intruder moving around the house, rummaging through their belongings. It was a chilling sound, each noise sending shivers down their spines. They held their breath, their bodies pressed against each other in the cramped space, hoping to remain undetected. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they heard the intruder's footsteps fade away. They cautiously emerged from their hiding spot, relieved that the danger seemed to have passed. But as they surveyed the scene, they noticed something alarming. The front door was wide open. It was then they realized that the intruder had left, but not before something unexpected happened. As they stood there, contemplating their next move, they heard screeching tires and a sickening thud. A speeding car had struck the intruder, who was now lying motionless on the ground. Terrified and shaken, they quickly called for an ambulance, desperately hoping that help would arrive soon. Their hearts raced as they tried to comprehend the events that had just unfolded. It was a shocking twist of fate, revealing the true danger they had narrowly escaped. In the days that followed, the truth about the intruder came to light. It turned out that he had been involved in a series of break-ins around the neighborhood. He was a lunatic, a danger to anyone who crossed his path. They realized how lucky they were to have escaped his clutches.